presumably I'm the guy you guys are all waiting for right now. And I don't know who's coming on after me, but maybe they're all on time. But I'm the guy who was running to show a video. But unfortunately, the guy who was running the video stuff equipment isn't here right now, so I don't know when we'll get around to that. But as soon as they show up, I might have to go off stage and do a lot of mumbling and angry pointing and then probably. But until then, how's everybody doing? Good! So, I will go ahead and get this out of the way, because I have to drugs, man. First question that you're probably wondering is, where's the new episode? It will be showing up on your few screens in March. So hopefully, the 500 pounds that we're about to shoot up when I said, okay, we'll start Q&A. Ocelots! It's pretty good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. You've been on 5 years now, I'd say. So that's significant, I guess. But, anyone have any questions about Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? If not, you might have to go into a bit of improvisation. Nobody has a question? Bro!
Do you regret ever saying card games on motorcycles?
Do I regret ever saying card games on motorcycles? I do a little bit. I absolutely regret saying a lot of things I regret saying. Like, for example, this show will be updated weekly. That's something I do regret saying. But card games on motorcycles is interesting because I did that, obviously, as an April Fool's joke. And it seems to be the April Fool's jokes that I do that catch on the most. Because I did the Naruto spoof as an April Fool's thing, and then became like a series, and everyone seems to like that. And then I card games on motorcycles last year, which even like people who actually market the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! show used that on the Tuzaki website.
It was awesome.
Did they have a vote?
Yeah, and it was like everyone voted yes.
I do regret saying it simply because, for example, you probably know this, a lot of people who cosplay Yu-Gi-Oh! 5E's characters tend to get that yelled at them a lot when they're just walking around. And I think, to be honest, that's the same for a lot of memes that are created based around like characters and anime. So, for example, I'm sure back in Keith, you get in America yelled at you a lot.
Yes, I do. In America.
So, I mean, I can't really control that, unfortunately. There's no way for me to say, hey everybody, can we stop saying card games on motorcycles, please? I don't think that would be you know how you say yeah, various catchphrases I regret. And I regret that certain catchphrases didn't pick up a lot better than they did. For example, when I wrote the episode that has the Pegasus flashback, where he discovers the Egyptian god gods, I thought that Pegasus' line where he says, and forgive the bad language, he says, I'm turning this shit into trading cards. I thought that would go over a lot better than it did, and nobody seemed to notice instead. I thought, you know, this would be a good meme. Are you screaming this? Excellent. That's the only way to scream something. Sonic the Hedgehog is live streaming my power over the internet, is that? Awesome. Awesome. So, any other questions, Justin? What's up with Darcy's hair? I don't know what you're talking about. So. Actually, that's a reference to a show called Perfect Hair Forever. I'm so happy that got a positive response because everybody else I know who's into anime despises that show. It is hilarious! It is hilarious! It's actually like it's an adult swim parody of anime, basically. And it has all the various cliches and like the grandfather guy who's a pervert. Basically, it's what I do, only in my opinion, way funnier. So, for example, those of you who don't know LittleKuriboh who goes, doo la 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 la. That's also from Perfect Hair Forever. And And that's one of my favorite things to do. But I actually, I guess I can say this because technically it's happening right now. Has anyone been to Anime Milwaukee? No. Well, they just had me as a guest for 2012, and they asked me to do a video promoting the fact that I'm going to be there, and they're going to show it, and they're closing ceremonies. And it's just, has anyone seen 2001: Space Odyssey? Yeah. It's just the opening shot from 2001: Space Odyssey, but instead of the planet rising up, it's a giant Kuriboh. Basically, there's a villain character from Perfect Hair called Quaffio, who is, in my opinion, the greatest character ever conceived. Just because you've seen Darts, that's how he is. And he basically has a list, but he just complains about random things. And the main reason he's funny is because of the voice actor. Because the voice actor would always ad-lib in the booth, and they keep all the ad-libs in the show, no matter how random they were. And I just thought of Taka how I want because it was sort of dapper from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. If he gave him a role and he just ran with it, it would be hilarious. And I guess it was. Right in the back,
Whatever happened with capsule monsters?
Whatever happened to capsule monsters? That's a very interesting question because it's a very interesting question, which kind of ties into the whole April Fools thing. Because we have some plans for April Fools this year. I'm not going to say anything else, but you may see some very excited. And actually, the guy who does the voice of Darts in the Evil Council suggested to me that the villain of the capsule monster should call Darts as Evil Council. Because he's not a villain. So it's like, okay, we got a new member, man. It's Alexander Brisbane, man. That's right, what's a villain? What the hell are you doing here, then, man? Get out of here, man. That sort of thing. But, yeah, Capsule Monster.
Check.
Ventriloquism.
Every time you say Capsule Monster, some guy yells check. Are we going to set up this video, by the way? Are we cool? Guys? We're working. I have to go all the way back to my hotel room to grab this because I realized I forgot it. I'm professional. Sonic, yes.
Okay. Have you ever considered forecast on a children's car game?
Have I ever considered or done a children's car game on a motorcycle?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say to me about, how great it was to be hugged by the person you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's not good. I haven't actually played a children's card game on a motorcycle. I have played Yu-Gi-Oh! A couple of times. For those of you who know him, Crows.
Woo!
I played card games not on motorcycles with him a few times and lost. But technically, at Anime Vegas, it was declared a disqualification on his part. So I won by default, which is the greatest victory of all. So technically, I played card games. And there's a funny story behind that because I went to Comic-Con in 2008, back when Upper Deck still did the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. And I demoed the new 5D's rules right when they came out, so there's no spinning with what you said. And I played it, and the guy who was demonstrating the game was the official guy in charge of marketing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. And so he was aware of me. And he sat me down and he was like, okay, now here's how we're going to play. And he started rattling off a bunch of things without slowing down. And I'm like, whoa. I've never played this game before. And he just looks at me and goes, it's really ridiculous story. And it was kind of a scary situation because Upper Deck weren't exactly happy with me because previously that day I had attended the premiere of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Dub. And I kind of stole the show by getting up and asking a question and having the entire audience stand up and cheer. And then the guy dressed as tuxedo mask in the front row got up, turned his back on the Japanese producers of Yu-Gi-Oh! And bowed to my right. That was the first ever convention I went to where I actually, you know, after I made the New York Bridge thing. So it was kind of like a wake-up call, because I didn't realize that people care. So just to stand in front of the people who actually make the actual show and cause a bigger fuss than the actual creators was really, really surreal and kind of cool. Yes, one of them.
What's your personal favorite catchphrase from the series and why?
My personal favorite catchphrase from the series keeps changing. Because eventually if I say it's my favorite, people say it to me to the point that I get tired of it. But I'm very fond of a lot of the ones from the Naruto spoof, just because that's kind of the more obscure series that I make. I'm very fond of my One Piece! I'm very fond of doing that character's voice, actually. I don't know if any of you have seen the troll videos that I've made, where I'm making fun of the bridges, my apologies. I really like making him kind of like the idiot character, and the Hokage making kind of the guy who's like really bland and not interested. So it's kind of how I am. But other catchphrases, hey, we're good? We're good. On the what, sorry? Space out, go then. Okay, cool. I'll save the video at the end of the panel since it's done. Basically, my favorite catchphrase right now would have to be, and I'm very fond of it, I'm turning this shit into trading cards. There's a catchphrase that I just created, there's technically this video that I'm going to actually push to become a new catchphrase. Because it's kind of something that I say all the time. And it's Marek. He just like randomly in the video, he goes, I like milkshakes! And regulator was like, no, buddy, let's go get a drink. I like milkshakes! That was pretty cool. So we'll come over here. Next to the girl with the green hair. Yes. I actually, and this is kind of a dirty confession, I do actually speak a little bit of French, because I did French in school. But for that particular episode, I was consulting with somebody else's translation for a lot of it. So I'm kind of guilty. I'm kind of guilty of that count. But I hope that the accents came out okay. People say that the French kind of sounds very sexy. What are you going to say, sir? They so like Yuki. Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting experience, and I shared that at conventions before I shared it on YouTube, and the reaction was always kind of like, huh? So I wasn't really sure people were going to enjoy it, but some people, what's the sign say? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I actually don't watch Naruto. Wow, that was a really positive reaction to I don't watch Naruto. It's really interesting. I've seen some episodes of Naruto because obviously I make fun of them. And really, that's kind of me just to play by the seat of my pants with Naruto because I don't know what's going to happen next. Alright. Okay, sure. I do like Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I'm a big fan of Evangelion. Which is interesting because some people, it's competitive writing. And I'd love to do it, I actually wanted to do a spoof of Evangelion called That's Our Shinji, which would be kind of like a black and white sitcom from like the 1950s. It was like, That's Our Shinji! Basically just a happy version of Evangelion, but they kind of don't have it. I actually wrote an Evangelion song recently. I wrote a parody of the opening theme to Evangelion.
You knew that was coming!
It's interesting though because the song I wrote actually makes it sound like I don't like Evangelion. Because I want to do like a series of song parodies based around different anime, rather than just keep doing Yu-Gi-Oh things. Because, surprise, surprise, I don't want to just be known as the Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I'd much rather be known as the guy who just makes cool anime games. You want me to sing the A1 Gun song? I really struggled with this, and I'm also for the backing track. I can give it a shot. Some of you have heard this already because I played it during my live stream, but I'll give it a shot. It's still bad. Who's clapping? The theme tune to an overrated anime. Someone shoot me, I already did ADB was a company that financed the dub of a popular show. That was then, this is now. It's become a cash cow, a shadow of what it used to be. How the hell did it do so well when the main character is totally gay? He lies like a girl, and he fights like one too. The crying guy must not run away. I always thought that an anime hero was meant to have big hairy balls. But then this guy Shinji seems quite unable to get up whenever he falls. Why do people think this show is a masterpiece? It's a cartoon about a bunch of giant mechs, interspersed by the story of a evil kid and some pointless religious symbolism. Oh, by the way, the movies are all bullshit. Don't pretend that you understand the ending. I like that last part. Something way over there. Anybody over there? Don, where'd you should go? Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I was wondering if you watch Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Yeah, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's cartoon.
You did with Taya, when she was talking to Takahata's penguin.
Yes.
I forgot the name right now, I'm blanking out.
From.
Yeah. So she said you penguin something thing, like,
Oh, yes.
was that inspired by that joke from Coco, you burned airplane planes?
No, I didn't take that from there, unfortunately, but I am a huge fan of Foster's Home for Imaginary Children.
Oh.
Imaginary Children? That would be a huge plot twist. But yeah, the joke with the listen, penguin, think, I'm not going to do it, that's fine. It was just a line that I wrote to get in between the part where he said friendship songs. Basically, it was a complete
What was your initial reaction to ABCA?
What was my, I'll be honest, because this is Chicken Wings, everybody. He did, in 2008, was it?
Yeah, it was like
3 years ago, he did Dragon Ball Z Bridge, and one kid's actually linked me to it, and he showed me and said, you should totally know this over in Turkey Lex's voice. And I was like, that's hilarious, okay. And then I sat on that for a while, I was like, I'm probably not going to find time, and I just felt like I'd done too many troll videos. But then I realized that this was happening, and I thought, oh, I should do it to celebrate Comic Con. So really, it was kind of like one kid who told me that would be a great idea, and I was like, yeah, that's hilarious.
I thought it was Poppin that showed you that, because like one time ago, he was wanting to be a part of that. So I didn't know.
In fact, I only talked to Scott right before I posted it because I told Scott once that if I animated anything Dragon Ball Z related, I would talk it at the post. Oh yeah, for those of you who haven't seen Chicken Wings,
It's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in the fall room. So any questions about Bridget, feel free to make that. Yes, you do the right blue shirt and like. No, sorry, I'll get to it in a minute, but this is the which character do I think is the funniest? Like them, Chase! Because I say this all the time. He's kind of like me if I was 15 years old. Because that's my sorry? No, I didn't wear the low fur tops or anything. I mean, I wanted to. Married, when I was 15, I was very loud, very opinionated. I had really bad ideas, and I wouldn't let anybody ignore them. It really hated me. So I kind of feel like that's kind of where I get that voice from. But other characters that I love doing Naruto. The Naruto voice, which is basically my parody of whatever people do when they try and make a boy voice. This sounds really terrible in my opinion. That character I love, well, not my series, but I love Lanny Controller's version of Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z Bridge. I think it's a great job. And the reason I like it so much is because you kind of feel bad for the guy. You don't really feel bad for anybody else in that show. I mean, Vegeta, you kind of feel bad for the guy. Yes. Where does the LittleKuriboh come from? What are you implying? You understand the Kuriboh part? Do I look like a giant hairy ball? Or is it just that I'm very cute? For the little part, I don't know. I couldn't just use Kuriboh. So I just thought of an adjective that would go well with Kuriboh. Originally I was going to do something a lot more pretentious and call myself a cursed dragon, which was obviously related to curse of dragon. And it was because I was going to write fanfiction, because that would have made me famous. Which is ironic, because I actually know a lot of Indian fans who write fanfiction, and they do a great job. But LittleKuriboh, I think I just settled on because I think it was more identifiable with the Yu-Gi-Oh series. So it doesn't imply anything about me. But I think it's just there to be like, it's Kuriboh, it's little, there you go. I mean, you can read it